Hello, everyone. This is David, Fairly Secret Music. Haven't done a lot of these in a long time. Um, I'm at the point where I just need to have something that I really want to talk about instead of just doing them, you know, all the time and just kind of getting stale. Also, I just haven't had a lot of time. I have like four recording projects going on right now. But I just want to talk about some new things that I've gotten lately, some new things that are coming out, especially coming out this week or that I have on order. Um, and just, you know, uh, one or two old things and to plug some of my music. So, what we have here is Stephen Wilson, the Harmony Codex. And honestly, I'm kind of disappointed with this after a couple listens. I liked Future Bites better because at least that album kind of knew exactly where it was going. Whereas this one just kind of keeps on going all around the place and just it kind of lacks kind of a focus, I guess. Granted, it's still a pretty darn good album. It just doesn't have anything that really grabbed me. But that's the first couple listens, and sometimes things will need to grow on you. I picked this up. Uh, Everybody knows the album, Pink Floyd Dark Side of the Moon, but this is the Dolby Atmos mix 5.1 surround sound, which is basically the DTS version. That's what I usually play. I don't have the Atmos thing going on, but it has a remastered stereo mix also on here. This I wasn't gonna get because I was like, I don't have to pay $25 every time I want to hear something in 5.1. I just I'll just live without it. And so the retail value or price was $25. I found this used at a place called the Electric Fetus in Minneapolis. I believe it had come in on one of their orders, but there was no booklet, no um, what was it, postcards, and none of this stuff. Just this and the actual Blu-ray. So um, they had it for $8.99. So I thought, you know what? That's awesome for me. I think I got 10% off of that too. Maybe not. I'm not 100% sure. It does have this cool kind of artwork where the thing slides in, comes in and out. But I have yet to listen to this because I was waiting to listen to it with my buddy Woody, who might even come over tomorrow. Uh, this came out just recently. I want to say it was like September 29th or something like that. Maybe, yeah. I got it about 4 weeks after the release date because I had ordered it from Get Imports, and all the esoteric and cherry red stuff um, on Get Imports are a lot cheaper than other places, even Amazon. But sometimes they have them on back order right from the get go. But this is Toya's Changeling album, and not only does it have the full album, uh, but it also has, gosh, what is that album called? She had like an EP that she came out with. Some great artwork, though. I won't pull the discs out, but two discs and a DVD. Um, but the album also has what is this thing called? I think it's like 4 uh, from Toya. It was a single or an EP that they had. Um, but not only does it come with um, that, it also has rare and archive material. Sorry about that. Rare and archive material, Joel's Porto Studio demos, and Toya interview, live and unplugged, promo video, and BBC television appearances. So um, I'm liking it. I'm just not. I'm wondering why this was. Uh, if I'm remembering correctly, a lot of people say that this is one of the albums that people like the best by her during this era. Um, and honestly, this one hasn't grabbed me as much as a couple of the previous studio albums. Um, there's only one more studio album, I believe, that they have to do, and then I'll have all the Toya stuff. This is a French metal band called Sup, or also known as Suppuration, or Spherical Unit Provided. I did a discography video of these guys a while back. This comes with a booklet that has lyrics. Let me see here. But it's funny because it's kind of like this weird booklet. It's just kind of like, hey, here's the lyrics and nothing else really to it. But better than no lyrics. This guy sings, does clean vocals and death metal vocals. They are very, I guess, acquired taste. But oh, I never noticed this before, that their logo reads Sup forwards and backwards almost. That's kind of cool. And by the way, Music Millennium in Portland. I've never been there, but my wife was there and picked this shirt up for me. Here's another one that I'm kind of disappointed in. It's Pattern Seeking Animals. What is this called? Spooky Action at a Distance. This is basically Spocks Beard without Morse or Ryu. I can't remember what their first names are. Ryu? I'm not sure. The keyboardist and the guitarist. And it has who is in this band? I'm sorry. This is obviously, you can tell that I haven't done a video in a while because I'm not prepared. Ted Leonard, Jimmy Keegan, Dave Maros, and John Bojold, who all have been in Spocks Beard together, and the drummer is gone now from Spocks Beard, but they haven't done anything in years and years. So I really, really liked their last one, Passing Through, I think it was called. And that had a song called Much Ado that just blew me away. And the songs were a lot stronger on that one. This one, they're kind of weaker, not as good as, because they had been getting, I think, better and better on each album. And this is kind of like a step backwards. But you might like it. I might start liking it in a few listens or whatever. I'll do this one. This is a band that has been around for quite a long time. Comes with that booklet with lyrics. This is Saturnus, although you probably can't even read that. This is called The Storm Within, and they are a death doom band. So if you're listening to bands like My Dying Bride, Paradise Lost, you might dig these guys. He does really, really low growls for the most part, and then what he's not growling, he does spoken word. So Um, it's a lot of really slow stuff, but really good. I mean, I usually don't get into the kind of really slower doom. They had an album called Paradise Belongs to You, and that album is just fantastic. I think that came out around 96. So they've been around for quite a long time. Um, and the guitarist that they used to have started a project that was kind of like apocalyptic folk, kind of in the vein of like some of those World Serpent bands, like Nurse, well, not really Nurse with the Wound, Current 93 and stuff like that. This is a cool one because their original bass player, um, this guy, Brian Hansen, they have, uh, well, Thomas Jensen is the singer. That's this guy. These two were in the band at the beginning. He left for a little while, but it was funny because when the first album that they ever did, I thought Brian Hansen was another guy in the band who kind of looked like he was like a high school wrestler and stuff like that. But it's cool that Brian Hansen is back because he plays fretless bass. Although you can't really tell that he's playing fretless, which is uh, a compliment because that means he's just so spot on. But he doesn't use a lot of slides or gets that kind of wow kind of feel. This is a fun thing that I picked up kind of on a whim, but partially because I've always really wanted uh, at least the first album, and I thought, well, I might as well get the box set that has the 3 albums on it, or in it, I should say. So, as you can see, it is the complete Crow. Also, a fun thing is that after these 3 albums, Crow was they stopped for quite a while, and then in the 80s, like early 80s, um, Dave Wagner got the band back together, but with a completely different lineup. And my brother John was in Crow for the album On the Run, which they did. I wish I had the vinyl copy that I have up here. It was only ever released on vinyl or cassette. So in this, you get their first album, which kicks off with a song called Evil Woman, which most of you will remember from Black Sabbath's first album. And then there is Crow by Crow, and then Mosaic. And this comes with a booklet, has some good liner notes that I haven't read all of them. When I first got it, I wanted to see if they even mentioned the album, and it says Crow didn't stay grounded. So they broke up for 7 years, but in 1980, Wagner revived the name with an entirely new lineup that went on to release On the Run in 1982. That version of Crow disbanded shortly after their album, but another reunion commenced in 88 and continues to this day. So, I'd really, really like if the album my brother was on got put on CD, and I would buy it in a heartbeat. But I doubt that's going to ever happen. I know he has like burned copies because the bass player just made like kind of like a short print run of CDs. So I'm going to talk about some things that are coming out. Like just yesterday, Frank Zappa's Overnight Sensation came out. That's a 4-disc set with a Blu-ray also. So 5-disc set. One of those is a Blu-ray where they have the whole album in 5.1. I believe it's in Atmos. I'm not 100% sure though. And I ordered that through Zappa official website. So if you are interested in that, if you go to any of these websites, because there's a few that I use on a regular basis, like waysidemusic.com, lasercd.com. So Wayside, you can get a lot of prog stuff, a lot of jazz, a lot of kind of really deep cut kind of albums. Wayside Music also does Cuneiform, and they had a band called Universe Zero on their label. And they have a new album coming out also on the 24th. And by listening to the stuff on Bandcamp now, because Universe Zero aren't on Cuneiform anymore, but they were on Sub Rosa, and they started streaming it on Bandcamp. So that got me kind of in the mood to listen to Asceta, Asceta. This band is very reminiscent of Universe Zero. So if you're looking for a band that's kind of like Universe Zero, that plays more in the traditional Universe Zero than the new one is going to be in. And I am looking forward to the new one, but the songs that I have sampled are probably about 6 of them on Bandcamp. It sounds kind of more like the Daniel Dennis solo stuff and later Universe Zero, which is good, but it's not like the classic era. Another label that I order from is Laser CD, which is a lot of prog rock, progressive metal, power metal, stuff like that. And my interactions with both Steve from Wayside and Ken have been great. They always, do really great customer service, delivery. Their packaging is really good, so you won't get anything that's in a digipack being sent in, like a shitty padded envelope or something like that. But what I was going to say is, even though I would normally order from those guys, sometimes I can get things for way cheaper on Import CD, which, I like to support. I wouldn't say locally, because one is they're New York or something like that, but when they have like 30% off of an esoteric thing on importcd.com, I can't really pass that up. But to get back to the Zappa thing, like Amazon, Pop Market, those places all had it for $99.99. And I was like, I just can't justify spending that much. But the Zappa official website has it for $65, just so you know. The last thing that's coming out this actually Friday, which is the 24th, is there's a Peter Hamill Out of Water and In a Foreign Town. I recently got In a Foreign Town, so I'm not as familiar with this one. Excuse me. But Out of Water is one of my favorite Peter Hamill solo albums. I'm going to just hold up the booklet so you don't get all that shine. And what he did, this was during the Enigma and Relentless era. So 1988, and I believe this is 1990. So he actually went back and re-recorded stuff, remixed, and all that fun stuff. So I'm really looking forward to this, like, 2 CD set coming out. It's basically these 2 albums, and I'm kind of afraid about what he's done to them, but also excited because I still have these discs, so it doesn't matter. I'm not getting rid of these. So the one old thing that I was going to tell you about is this band, Ramen. I actually got this for $9.95, but I think I ended up having something to exchange. I'm not even sure. So this is on the Musia label. If I'm pronouncing that wrong, here is what that looks like. If I can... Musea, Musia. I'm not sure. They do a lot of Zool stuff, and that's kind of what this is. I think there's a lot of magma connections with this band. Let me see here. I will just kind of put this up like that. I haven't read these liner notes yet, but there's a lot of magma mentioning in here. I don't remember there being any vocals, though. So if magma's vocals turn you off, like my wife cannot stand magma. And it's mainly because of the vocals. I haven't listened to this a ton, just a little bit since I got it. But it's cool because this is unfortunately a kind of like a Russian bootleg, I think. But this thing goes for quite a bit, I guess. Probably like $30 or $40 or something like that. And I got it for $9.95. And the last but not least, I'm going to plug 2 of my own albums. So this says My Oldest Friend Is Dead. The version that we put out is called The Same Page, but it has the same weird fish in the water, or guy in the water. My brother painted this in the 70s when he was smoking a lot of dope. So we asked him what it meant, and he said, I'd have to smoke a lot of dope to figure that out. So we re-recorded all the stuff. We called it The Same Page because our guitarist passed away in 2008, and Greg, who plays bass on these, had to learn all of Brandon's guitar parts. And there was me when I'm right in the middle, when I had a black beard and had hair. But this isn't the cover. This isn't the same cover because we couldn't find the image anymore. And it's just a very poor scan. So we had to come up with a new image that, I will admit, we used an AI image creator. And it came up with something awesome. So this is My Oldest Friend, Same Page, My Oldest Friend, Stop. And they're both on Bandcamp. They're free to stream or free to download, or you can name a price, give us $1 or whatever you want. If you don't pay for it and download it, I don't care. I would just like people to listen to it. And what is it? It is basically me on drums, Greg originally on bass, and Brandon on guitar, but now it's Greg on bass and guitar. And we tried to record them as true to how we originally played them, even down to not using a ton of like reverb on the guitar, or if there was more reverb than we'd use normally, we still did that. Recording guitars like super dry, Also, playing screw-ups that we originally did that add character to the music, because a lot of the time there was tons of odd time. So this band got created because Greg and had not ever listened to King Crimson Red, and Brandon and I were big King Crimson fans in the late 90s. Still am a big King Crimson fan, but when Greg heard King Crimson Red, it was kind of like we were all on the same page. And we finally knew what kind of music we wanted to do. It's all instrumental, a lot of odd times, a lot of polyrhythms at times. And the first one has 16 tracks on it. It's a very long album. Stop, however, only has 7 tracks on it. It's less than 25 minutes, I believe. Whereas this one is, I think, I don't know, maybe 65 minutes or something like that. I'm not sure. But there are some really long songs on this one. This one has an 8-minute, a 9-minute, and a 9-minute and 44-second song. Originally, we had to put it on 2 discs because we refused to cut one of the tracks. We have since cut one of the tracks down 4 minutes and switched one song into a song called Problem Child. If you want a very good indication of what this project sounds like, listen to like Spilling the Salt, Modular, Actor Turned English Teacher, Problem Child. And on this one, good examples are Phoenix, There's Wet on My Box, Simple Lines, Codependent. All these recordings on the Bandcamp page, I also kind of give a little history of the band and kind of comments on every song. So if you like instrumental prog, you like King Crimson Red or Don Caballero or any very kind of adventurous instrumental trios, give it a shot. Let me know what you think, and thanks for watching, and you have a great night, day, whenever you're watching this, and have a happy holidays. Bye.